The Shama Hashem, that the Eibishter heard that she was this light, Leah. That's why she gave her child the name Shimon. What is the Inyan Avedas Hashem? This means the Inyan of Shmi and Elikus, that it's not that he relates to it as something that he visualizes it, which is in close proximity, but it is something as there is a distance between him and the Inyan that he hears about. Shmi is merachik. Hearing is something from the distance, which the difference is also in the person himself. When a person sees something, it becomes part of him. The Shriya becomes part of him, and not only the seeing becomes part of him, but actually it says that he becomes, his eyes, his vision becomes part of the thing that he saw. In Lashon HaGemara it's called Tviyas Ayin. Tviyas Ayin is that if there is a person lost something, if he's a Talmud Chacham, a scholar, so it says B'Tviyas Ayin, that if he recognizes it, he's trusted. So Chassidus explains what does Tviyas Ayin mean. Tviyas Ayin means that when a person sees something, there is a controversy. I don't know what today's scientists are saying, but this is a controversy mentioned between two different opinions in the vision of the eye. Tzemach Tzedek brings it, and Rebbe Rasha brings it. What does it mean when a person sees something? Is it that the sparks from the vision goes out to the matter that he sees, or is it the sparks of the matter comes into to the eyes, and therefore is able to see it? This is a chkira. If it's the nitzutzi horiya or ayin or the nitzutzi hadova. The whole leifin, so the Tzemach Tzedek said, this is what's called tviyas ayin. This eye sinks into the matter that he sees, and therefore he is trusted more than others. Because he, not only that he's trusted because he's Talmud Chacham, but he's also trusted because by him it sinks into, becomes part of him. And this is in general, the union of Riyah in general is something that a person becomes part of the thing that he sees. It becomes nisatzim with him. Especially as the Rebbe Rashab explains in the Maimarim, in Lech Lecha, Hareini Esmarech, Hashmi Eshkelech, in Tofrei Samach Aleph, in a Maimon in late 1900. The Rebbe Rashab said a Maimon, a Hemshech, and he discusses in a few Maimarim the difference between seeing and hearing. That the seeing is something that takes his essence. On the other hand, seeing is something that he can see something physical. Mashinkin hearing, he cannot hear something physical. He has whatever he's hearing is something that he's just hearing. This is the voice. The union of hearing is something from a distance. That his aveda, his service, relates to godly matters that are separated and distant, remote from world. What kind of service is it? His aveda is that he only hears, he understands that there are inyanim that are distant from his understanding and intuition. This meditation, in the remote sense, so it brings the fear of Hashem. So therefore, the kirov brings the ave, and the yirah, the richok, because it's richok distant, and therefore he feels overwhelmed. Therefore, it brings him to yiras Hashem.
Rachek min ha'olam sounds like a maila over kirov ha'olam.
A mile in equality in which way is distance equality?
Kirov ha'olam is you're getting close to Gashmias, involved in God. In Ruchnias, you should be aloof from olam, from Gashmias. So it sounds like a mile in Ruchnias. Shmiya.
No, you see what he says a lashon here.
Unless I missed the point.
No, Havedasi is talking in Yoni Elikus, which are moved from world. But what Aveda is it? That his whole connection to godliness is that he hears and understands it, but he doesn't see it.
You said Karov and Rochak la'olam.
Koriv is Ave. Ave comes from Riyah. Riyah, seeing. Seeing is something that you see mekoriv. Riyah is from close, proximity. Mashenkin Shmi is something that you hear from distance. You are dealing Taker Nelikus. The Rebbe says yes. He's dealing and he's doing the service with godly matters that are removed from world, but he's still in world. And his relationship with godliness is in a remote sense. He's only hearing about godliness. He's only thinking about godliness, understands it, but he doesn't see it. He is still at a distance with godliness. But at heart of it, it's al derech like, you know what it is? It's like derech like now, Tov Shinayin. We're learning Chassidus. It's distant from world, but it's distant from us also, because we don't see it, we hear it, we understand it.
So why does he bring in Olam altogether?
Because he wants to bring out, verstehe, the Pashtus is because he learns here interesting pshat. It's an interesting beer. That Shmiya Merochik means he is dealing with things that are distant from world and from him. From him also. Because he's dealing with world and with godliness, and godliness is distant from him. He's only hearing and understanding it, but he doesn't see it. This brings the fear of Hashem. So this is the difference between Reuven and Shimon. Reuven is inyan from close proximity. It's inyan of seeing. And it brings to Avos Hashem, to love of Hashem. Shmiya is an inyan of a distance from Elikus. He's close to he's dealing with Elikus that is removed from world, but his Aved is only Shemei O Mevin, which means that he's not mamish, like, can't put his fingers on it like something that he sees. Then comes the tribe of Levi, the third tribe, which is the third aspect in his relationship to godliness. Hapam Yelavi Ish Al Shem, Apam Yelavi Ish Elai, Shum Meloshen Chibar Bisachdus. This is the union of attachment. This is the union of connection. The Inyone Bavedas Hashem Mashal Yedei Maisa Mitzvahs, through performing, fulfilling commandments. Mitzvahs Meloshen Tzavsa V'Chibar. Mitzvahs is the union of attachment. Through this, Nasa Odom Chadem Atzmusim Husi Yisbarich. So through this, a person becomes one with Hashem. The Mela, this is the union of Yulava. Yulava means attaching. So we need to understand why is it that Shevet Levi, which represents the Maisa Mitzvahs, doing the commandments, comes after the Aveda of love and fear. Since the Ava, the love, is the source and the foundation for all the mitzvahs that are referred to, so-called positive mitzvahs. 248 mitzvahs. V'hayira, and the fear is the roots and the foundation for all the 365 negative mitzvahs. The Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, because the Ava brings a person to do positive mitzvahs, and the fear of Hashem brings a person to fulfill and not do the 365 negative mitzvahs, which basically they are the two tnuas, the two aspects, features, klolus in Yasur Merava Seitev. One is not to do the bad, stay away from bad, and the second one is to do good. This consists of all the mitzvahs. Therefore, a person comes through the introduction of Ava V'yira, through introducing love and fear of Hashem, which he has the love, b'meila he'll do the positive mitzvahs, and with the fear he'll stay away from the negative mitzvahs, so this will lead him, l'bchinas Yelavi Yishelai, which is kiyam mitzvahs, fulfilling the mitzvahs, which the word mitzvah is lashon tzavsa v'chibar, attachment to Hashem. This is the third midah that comes through the blend of the previous two midas. So comes the mitzvah, the midah of the third one, which is Levi. And in detail, what does this pasuk mean? Is v'zeh mashakasav Yelavi ishi dafke, that Yelavi ishi, my husband. Literally, it means my husband. But in a spiritual sense, the ishi also means pirush eishali. Eishali means my fire. It goes on the eish from above and the eish from below. Which in the Beis Hamikdash we had the two fires. We had the fire that came down Milmaila from heaven, and then there was the fire that came down that they needed to do on their own. Baruch Hu Akei, Baruch Hu Bnei Yarein. The union of Eitzim, wood, they had to make a marocha, 3 marachas. Different preparing wood on the Mizbeach, on the altar. And then there's the fire that came down Milmaila from heaven. So this is the Eish Shel Maila, Eish Shel Mata, the